Are you a helicopter parent? Hi, and welcome back to Supermom Knows Best. I'm Erin. Today we're going to talk about a topic that can be a little touchy: helicopter parenting. Over the years, this has gotten quite the negative connotation attached to it. I believe that there's a fine line between being overbearing and smothering in a helicopter parent, or when you take the approach of being a mama bear and a helicopter parent. Let me explain the difference. Because I have special boys who, like I've said before, are on the autism spectrum, I make sure to meet and to talk with their teachers at the beginning of the school year to make sure they understand what they're getting when they get my child. I don't want my boys to be treated differently. That's never been the goal. I want the teacher to have a level of understanding of what they're dealing with when it comes to my boys. They are pretty close to passing for normal. That is something I have strived for over the years. That's always been my goal, to make them appear to be as normal as possible. So I always tell the teachers, I apologize in the beginning of the school year, that I promise I won't bug you unless there's a problem or I have a question. But once I swoop in as a helicopter and I do my mama bear thing and make sure that they're set up, that the teachers have what they need, their 504s and all their accommodations lined up, ready to go. Once that is in place, you're not going to hear from me. That's always been my take every year. I always tell their teachers, I am not an ostrich parent. An ostrich parent is one that has their head in the sand, screaming at the top of their lungs. Not my child, not my baby. It's usually my kid, and I'm okay with it. I've come to accept it. I'm a retired teacher, so I know there's a good chance that it's my kid if they say it is. I think this type of helicopter mama bear situation is not necessarily a bad thing. It's making sure that your baby is taking their first steps in the right direction. But once that's happened and everything is in place, I step back and I let the teachers do their thing. I don't need to watch over their shoulder. I don't need to see what's up. That does not mean I'm hands off and I don't know what's going on at school. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm not going to bug the teacher on how they handle things in their classrooms. They can do their own thing. They can do it whatever way works best for them in that class that year. I'm just going to sit back and have faith that the school has paired my child up with the best teacher possible. Now let's talk about the other kind of helicopter parent. Those are the individuals that can't let go. They have to be there to open up that juice box, to open up that Ziploc bag. They don't allow their child to exert any type of independence. They're double checking everything. They're always on the teacher's back. They're always on the child's back. I take the free range child approach in that aspect. I loved my childhood when I just got on my bike and I rode to a friend's house and I was gone. And we would migrate from house to house as long as we stayed in the neighborhood was the rule. If we left the neighborhood, which we did sometimes, we had to get permission first to cross the busy street to walk up the street to the convenience store and gas station on the corner. We have moved to a very nice, safe neighborhood, knock on wood. And we've never really worried about anything. Now our children have phones. And before they had phones, they had what's called gizmo watches where we could track them and call them and make sure that they had made it to their friend's house. But they have electric scooters. We have a fairly big, hilly neighborhood. And so they have electric scooters and they take their phones, they're wearing their helmets, and they go off on their scooters. I like giving them that freedom. They're boys. Boys have to grow up to become men. They have to be able to take care of themselves. They don't need mom opening up a juice box for them. Back when they were younger, the minute they showed any signs of independence and wanting to learn how to do something, I taught them. I never told them no. I said, let me teach you the correct way to handle whatever it was. By the time my oldest was 2.5, now he wasn't speaking, he was nonverbal, but by the time he was 2.5, the kid could work a DVD player, a DVR, the TV, and he knew where the popcorn button was on the microwave to make his own popcorn. Every morning I would set up his juice and his milk cups in the fridge on a level that he could reach. So he knew which cup was what. I would use the same type of cup and coloring every day. So he knew which cup was what. And he could go and retrieve his own juice. The kids have a drawer where it is filled with their little kid plates and forks and spoons. Now, obviously, mine are older now, but these are tricks that we used when they were younger. They knew if they needed a plate or a fork, it was in their drawer, and they went to their drawer to grab a plate when they were ready to get something to eat. I taught them how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I taught them how to scramble an egg because they were old enough to learn how to work the stove. That same older child, when he was in first grade, he had a friend over for a play date. I didn't have juice boxes at the time, but I had little cans of Sprite, you know, the little tiny ones that's just 8 ounces. And I gave them 2 cans of Sprite. The one friend looked at me and said, I don't know how to open a can. My oldest looked at him and said, how do you not know how to open up a can? And so before I could turn around and open it for him, my oldest said, don't worry, Mom, I've got this. Because he was in shock that his first grade buddy didn't know how to open up a can when he could, and he had learned how to do it several months prior because he wanted to know how. So I taught him. See, there's a fine line. In this house, we also don't believe in participation trophies. Now, I have not stopped or discouraged when other helicopter parents have wanted to buy the team trophies at the end of the season and have the cute ceremonies with the most improved over this and that and whatever. But I always explain to my boys, this trophy is just for fun. You are not the best. You did not win a tournament. You did not beat every team. You are not number 1. You're getting this because the parents want to do something fun. It's like a party favor from a birthday party. Our children do not need to be given participation trophies. They do not need us hovering over them. It will not prepare them for life. We have strived to make our boys independent in their actions and their thinking. And I hope more of us are out there because I think our kids will be better off if we teach them to be independent. If they turn 18 and head off to college and they need you to hold their hand, then we didn't do our job. Thank you for listening. I hope you like what I had to say. Please leave me a comment, like the video, share it, and I will see you next time.